Hey everyone, it's Adam Helfman from Harrison. Welcome to the podcast. As I told you earlier, I'm with Brian Lee from Metro Home Improvement, and we're at a new home that we're just putting the final touches on in Harrison Township. It had a big fire. Brian, tell me a quick history of this house.
So last year on May 18th, Joe, my project manager, my superintendent, and I got a phone call from a former client that their house was on fire. And subsequently, we were on our way to another job. We had to turn around, and we came back to the house here. And we rushed over, and there were 4 fire trucks in the driveway putting the fire out that actually started in the second floor. So ironically, just over a year and a couple days, we are now completed with the job, and we've got a couple of little small things to do. And you'll see walking through, the customer has their belongings, they're moving in, and it came out superb. I mean, just fantastic.
Yeah, you know, we're obviously here in the kitchen, which is the focal point of this house.
Right.
Fantastic. I mean, ridiculously nice. Tell me a little bit about this.
So back when COVID happened in 20 and 21, we were having a hard time getting cabinets. So I reached out to a couple cabinet distributors, and we've got our own line of cabinets that we carry now that are exclusive to us. So as you see these cabinets here, these are our cabinets that we install and we purchase. They've got a multitude of colors. I mean, just crazy color schemes. This one here is called Castleberry White. It's fantastic. It just goes so well with everything that's going on in this house.
It's absolutely magnificent. So when it comes to color coordination, picking of the materials, do you work with the homeowner, or is it the homeowner's decorator? How does this work in your process?
So with my experience, what I kind of do is I sit down with the homeowner and I ask them, like, what kind of colors do you like? Are you into warm tones? Are you into cooler tones? We kind of help them along to make the decision, because sometimes they'll hire an interior decorator and the interior decorator will pick everything out, and at the end of it, they just hate it. And I'm not saying interior decorators don't know what they're doing, but sometimes they just kind of go overboard. So sometimes less is more. Like if you see this color scheme, it kind of, everything flows together.
Simple.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, it's interesting. What I noticed when I first walked in is typically, in my experience, when I walk into a fire job, a house that burned out, you're always like, do I smell smoke? This house smells brand new. It smells like there's never been anything here, and you built this from scratch. How do you achieve that?
So we pretty much took this house right down to the foundation, or the first floor decking. Joe and the crew, they got everything pulled out of here. They rebuilt the walls. The walls in here were so bowed that when you look down the side of them, you couldn't see a guy stand at the other end of the wall. I mean, because the wall, kind of bowed out and you wouldn't be able to see him. Joe got all the walls nice and straight. And then he put the second floor on. So he had all the floor joists going, and then my crew came in and they framed it in. So literally everything in this house is brand new. So, from the foundation to the roof and in between, everything is brand new.
So here we are in the great room of this brand new house that Brian rebuilt after a major fire here in Harrison Township. So Brian, we just looked at the kitchen, and now you're giving me a tour through here. This is the family room, great room?
It's a great room area. So the great thing about it is my team came in here, and we had an awesome idea. If you look over to the right here, there was a wing wall that stuck out 3 feet, and then over to my right here, there was another wing wall that stuck out. And previous to that, there was an electrical panel inside the great room, because this was a small cottage addition.
Right.
So they came up with an idea, let's get rid of the wing walls, let's put a header in, let's span the header and open this room up into a really big, expansive, great room, dining room area. So there's really good fit, finish, and flow, which is what I always try to achieve on all my builds with my guys.
Okay, this is fabulous, by the way. That open look is really, really nice.
Yeah, they've got a lot of room for furniture. We did a custom fireplace that we built that was designed and done. Obviously, we've got a TV over it, so it opens the floor space up, and there's plenty of places where people can sit and gather and still be in the conversation of people in the kitchen.
I like the little techniques, the little niceties when you do these floating shelves.
Right.
I see you have a special light above there.
Absolutely, yeah. We put those little LED lights in, so if they want to put some things on there and they want to be able to light them up and turn all the main lights out, you'll still have some backlight.
Then you have the interesting fireplace here with your TV above.
Right.
And wasn't there some sort of feature here at one time?
Previously there was a big angled corner fireplace that was a gas fireplace, and it just took up way too much floor space in here. So we decided, let's yank that out. let's just put a fireplace in like we do at Metro. We build these, and let's make this really nice and functional for the homeowners, because they have a lot of parties, they have a lot of get-togethers, and they have a lot of people. Like the island that's built there is built to seat 8 people. The dining room, when the table goes in, that's for another 8. And then she's going to have room to put another table in here for another 6.
I like this open floor plan concept, especially for a family.
Right.
It's easy to maintain, it's easy to have company, and as you can see, everyone always revolves around the kitchen.
Right, yeah.
And I like how you took the kitchen and you blended the colors and you brought it in here, because now it makes it one big open space, but you can also have separation when you need it.
Absolutely. Not only that, the homeowner was really involved with the whole entire process. Like, I chose the color of the mantles, I chose the color of the shelves. However, she chose the light fixtures. And if you notice the wood on the light fixtures, they actually tie into the wood elements.
Yeah.
And then we built off of the floor. So we've got the floor that kind of goes throughout the whole entire house here. And our cabinets pick up well on the floor color, right? And another unique thing, if you were to look at the kitchen, you notice the island is a different color from the cabinets that are on the wall.
Correct.
And that's a big thing these days. People want multicolor.
Well, the contrast, but it ties together the light fixtures, the floor.
Right.
It's a very nice element that you've added, even with the windows and the trim around the windows.
Sure. Now, there's a story behind these. Previously, the windows that were in here were bumped all the way out flush. They had no sill whatsoever, and the blinds hung on the outside of the wall, and they came down the front of the wall. So what we did is we pushed the windows out. We created a pocket for mini blinds or blinds, right?
Sure.
And then you could put a valance over it. Now that blind comes down flush, doesn't hit the window handle. You can open the windows, the blinds don't get disturbed, and they're pocketed in the window. Plus, she's got a sill.
I like that a lot. You may not think a laundry room is like some part of a house that you want to be in, but Brian did some unique things in this laundry room, and I wanted to highlight it for us. So Brian, tell me about this room.
So what we did is we tied in the cabinetry with a butcher block countertop to match the floors and bring everything together. We put crown molding even around the cabinets here for a nice looking cabinet. We relocated that electrical panel that we talked about in the family room right inside the wall here. So if they have a problem, it's just open the laundry room door, bang, there it is. If you walk in, we even put quartz countertops in here to match with everything, so we've got a nice fit, flow, and function. And last but not least, most builders don't do this. You either get one or the other. You get a laundry room sink, or you get a water distribution box for your washer. We decided to go with both, and the reason being is, if they want to use the washer, great. You don't have the hoses dumped over into the laundry room sink. And if you want to use a laundry room sink to, let's say, you're on the water, you want to clean up some fish, you know, you want to use this for something sloppy, you know, you've got that sink to do such. And then we put a pull down sprayer in here as well, so they can use that, wash everything away. And we got a bigger laundry room out of it, right? So they have plenty of storage. Things that you don't normally want to use or see, you can get out of the way. And then this cabinetry right here is basically for your soaps and your wash powders and your dryer sheets. Same with this. But all this, that can all be utilized for all of the extra items that you might use for holidays.
It's a great use of the space.
I mean, literally, you could sit a chair in here and watch TV. I mean, it's just giant.
And then let's talk about this door, because I know you
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
So this is a door, was a full door.
Right.
And then Joe, he basically made it into a half door because they have animals, and they can put the dogs in here and have, so that you can still have access. That's super brilliant.
The smartest thing was just being able to take the exact same door that we have everywhere else, cut it down, and create this so the animals can stay in here when you have a party or you have people over.
Sure.
Some people don't like animals, you know, they don't want them crawling on them. So the dogs can stay in here, and they can still see everybody, and they can hear you. And then if you don't want anybody to see in here, all you gotta do is close the door, lock it down, and you got a full door again.
Here we are, one of the main bathrooms of the house that Brian just rebuilt, and it's unique. Brian, give me a little bit of a description of what we're doing and what this bathroom is all about.
So we created a walk-in shower. It was already a walk-in, but we made it larger. One of the unique features was we put a handheld sprayer in, so when the pets come in from being out on the lake, we can bring them right in here, off the tile, into the shower. They can wash them down, and then the pets can come right back into the house, and they're not all dirty. We've got a nice big rain shower head on top. We put a light in the ceiling, and then on all of our jobs, we put quiet, cool fans in. So these fans are high volume and they're quiet to run. And then with everything that we do, we tile wall to wall, right? So all the walls are tiled right up to the ceiling. You don't have to worry about any mold or any black that you're gonna get in here, from steam. And then we built a custom top for them. So they have this top in the bathroom. She can put knickknacks, any type of design items in here.
I love the stone floor.
Yeah, she actually chose the stone. I think it was a great compliment. It kind of draws everything in. It gives you like an outdoor, Michigan outdoor feel, right?
Of course.
So with the color of the stone, on the floor, obviously the floor tile, it draws everything together.
So here we are on the second floor of this brand new rebuilt house that had a fire over a year ago. And Brian, no detail has been left untouched here. And I want to make a few notes here for you,
Sure.
for the audience, because this staircase is not the original staircase. Tell me the story about this, because it is really, really a functional staircase.
Absolutely. So currently we have a 42-inch wide staircase. Originally, there was a 34-inch wide staircase, and the homeowner said it was quite cumbersome to get furniture up the staircase. So what Joe did is he widened the staircase, made the landing larger. Now when you come up with furniture, it's a nice, easy turn.
Easy turn.
And then we raised the walls on the second floor to 9 foot. So if you notice, from the bottom step to where the bulkhead is there, instead of it being 6'8", we're 7'2". So we get an extra 4 inches of headroom to get furniture up here really easy. And then another nice feature was we went with a heavy duty handrail, and you'll see it ties in nicely with all the molding and trim, and it fits this perfectly. And then we stain that with a wood color as well to match the warm tones of the wood that are in the house.
Another thing that stands out to me, besides the attention to detail on this super high quality level of work here, is every nook and cranny has storage. You guys have found storage everywhere. Can you show us a few examples upstairs?
Absolutely. We decided to do a nice big room that you could store things in. No closet in here, like they're going to use it for storage. And then on top of it, we put a heavy duty set of pull down stairs that you can pull down to access the attic. Notably, the one nice thing about the attic is I put attic trusses all across the house when I had the roof open. So now the homeowner can walk from the front of the house 3/4 of the way back, 6'4" ceiling, and that's all open storage with a floor in there. So now everything that they need to store, because they don't have a basement, they now have upper storage and this room to use as well.
So here we are in the front bedroom. You call it bedroom 1.
Yes.
And again, very spacious, great color coordination, just super brand new. What did you do in this room that, besides a fresh brand new room, with storage?
So here's one of the things that we try to do. We try not to build closets into the room to make the room small. When you're dealing with a sub-sized room, you don't want to have a closet sticking out. So we actually ended up putting a closet in here, which is a full walk-in closet, and it goes over the staircase. And the uniqueness of it is that it's 9 feet tall, has 3 shelves, and you have more than enough storage for whoever's going to live in the house and have this as their room. Another nice thing that I want to note to you too, we do our windows with cross ventilation. A lot of guys only put one window in. This house previously didn't have a window this size. It had a very small window. And then when I do an egress window, I make them larger. So when you're facing something like the front of the house, you'll notice the front of the house has grids in the windows that tie everything in to the house and the way it was constructed.
You incorporated it into the design.
Yeah, and we made this bigger to allow more light in here, so you don't have to have the lights on at all times. You get a lot of natural light.
So here we are in bedroom number 2, also in the front of the house. This one looks like you expanded, you got really good space, but I will say something really quickly. I love the ceiling height upstairs. What size ceiling is it?
So we've got 9-foot walls, so we have a 9-foot ceiling. Previously, there was a 3.5-foot knee wall that was in here, and the roof sloped all the way down, so you'd have to get on your knees and crawl in here. So what we decided to do when we had the fire was, let's get rid of the knee wall, let's build the walls 9 foot, and now we have more space because we've created an extra bedroom in essence.
Yeah, and then a very, very wide closet.
Oh yeah, if you look at the closet, like, this is a huge closet. This closet is 12 feet wide, has plenty of room in it for racking and storage. And again, look how big this room is.
How many bedrooms is the house now?
Currently it has 3 plus the bonus room, which could be turned into a bedroom if you wanted to. But we took a 3-bedroom house and added that bonus room on, which makes a huge difference.
So now we're in the master bedroom, and this bedroom has lots of architectural features that, Brian, tell me, I guess we'll start at the ceiling and work our way down.
Sure.
There's so much to absorb here.
So what we did in here is we transitioned from an attic truss and we went with a open truss inside here, so you'd have an expansive ceiling. So we go from 9 foot and into this tray ceiling, we get 10 feet, right? Previously, the roof was so low that if you were to walk in here, the ceiling fan would have given you a haircut, right? So we made a tray ceiling, and then within the tray, we ended up doing a coffer in the ceiling. So we got a coffered ceiling, almost like a judge's or a library, right? And then we put LED lights inside of it. We put a ceiling fan with a light. Everything is dimmered, right? And then on this back wall, she wanted to bring the warmth in, right? So what we did is we transitioned from this color of the floor to the same type of product here, and we actually put this on the wall, and that gives it some character and depth because you're looking at the lake, from this view, or the canal. And then on either side, I came up with the idea of doing sconces. And the reason so is when you turn the ceiling fan and lights off, and you turn the lights off in here, obviously you're going to need some light if you want to read. So we're going to do end tables on either side of the bed, and they'll be able to have these lights on and do some reading before they go to sleep at night.
Very nice.
We also added some transoms over the top of the window to take advantage of the sunlight when it comes out. You get great sun. And then if they want to run their blinds, they can run a midpoint at the bottom of the transom, and then they'll be able to have light come in the room and naturally light it up.
So here we are in the closet in the master bedroom. Architectural effects everywhere. Brian, this is a deep closet. Tell me what inspired the look of this.
So we were able to configure some of the walls when we got in here and we started framing, and what we did is we moved some things around because we built the second floor fresh. And we were able to give them a larger master closet. Most ladies take up most of the closet with all their belongings and their clothes.
Sure.
At least her husband will be able to utilize about 4 feet of racking for himself.
Well,
Just kidding.
Higher ceilings, double racks, with hanging on each one. You'd be surprised. This closet will be able to hold a full family's worth of clothes.
Yeah, it can hold a big wardrobe for sure. We even went with extra hangers in here, as well as hooks, to make sure that we've got a lot of poundage rating on it in case they overstack the shelves.
Brian, this place is amazing. Tell me about here. What do you got going on here?
So what happened was the customer wanted to take the feel of the water and the sky, because we're on the water, and she wanted to infuse that in her bathroom. And I think she really nailed it, right? So she chose the blue tile to go on the walls. She wanted a soaker tub for herself. And then she wanted a large shower. As we know, everybody these days are shower people, right?
Yep.
So the larger the shower I could give her, the better off. We also went a little bit further, and we took the floor tile and we pulled it up and put it into the wall niches to kind of pull everything together. We trimmed off everything with a nickel Schluter edge. So if you look around, all the edges are finished off with nickel Schluter, and then we tie everything in with marble thresholds and sills. So it's a very clean look. It also matches the blue. There's blue running through it. We try to nail every component here, so we've got the the brushed nickel in the shower for the shower head. We also have it in here for the valves. It's just a gorgeous bathroom.
Fantastic. You know what else I like? And I'm going to ask you for this vanity. This vanity is cabinet or kitchen height.
Yes. So all the vanities are 34 and a half. Then with the top, it makes them 36. So they're not low to the ground. Another nice feature in here too, like we try to pick up, is we've got blue veining that runs through the quartz top. That picks up with the blue on the floor. We also have the stainless steel handles here as well. Soft close doors and drawers. Everything is all soft close.
Fabulous.
Right? So when you close them, you don't bang them. If you got kids, they can't beat the doors off the cabinet. And then last but not least, we do a glass globe for the lights, which give us a nice bright look. We also go with the Whisper Cool fan again in the ceiling, so it's very quiet. Flush mount LED lights. Everything has fit, form, and function in here. And then we did a stack switch with 6 switches to control everything, so you don't have to hit one switch and turn everything on. You can hit certain switches and run certain lighting items.
So there you have it. A house that burned down over a year ago. Now it's rebuilt, custom, all the amenities. The workmanship is benchmark. Brian, great job. I really, really appreciate the tour today.
It's not me, Adam. It's my whole entire team. So I owe it a debt of gratitude to all the guys that put in the time and effort.
Yeah, I'm floored by the great work. Really, I am. So if anybody out there has a flood, a fire, windstorm damage, you want a kitchen, a bath, custom work, anything, even a custom home, I highly urge you to meet with Brian Lee, Metro Home Improvement, because it'll change everything. The ability to do the design, the ability to help you coordinate the colors, all in-house, and the top craftsmanship, unbeatable. Brian, how do people get a hold of you?
They can reach out to me on Hire It Done, right? I'm on the website with you at hireitdone.com. Also, if they want to go and take a look at some jobs and work, they can go to www.metrohomeimprovement.com. And last but not least, they can reach me on my cell phone direct. I don't use an office phone because I'm not in the office much. So all the phone numbers go directly to me. You can reach me at 586-929-0224. But again, yeah, if you leave a message for me through Hire It Done or my website, we'll get back with you guys immediately. And we'd love to come out and take a look at other folks' projects.
And all the links are in the description below.